So now we are basically talking about this interest that is allowed as deduction under section what? Under section 24. So can you tell me income from house property, what does section 23 tells you?
That income from house property is chargeable to tax.
Section 24 tells you
How much is chargeable?
how much is chargeable to tax. Can you give me the format of income from house property?
Gross annual value less municipal taxes, net annual value less deductions under
Paid
section
by the
24.
landlord only. Paid by the
Hmm.
landlord only. It should be there. It is on paid basis and it should be paid by the landlord only. Then what do you
Only. Sorry?
get the net annual value?
Net annual.
Then
Then less deductions under section 24. In that, standard deduction will be 30% of net annual value, and interest on borrowed capital gives income from house property.
okay. Now we are talking about this interest on the borrowed capital, and this interest is this interest is covered in section 24, subsection B. Okay. So
Hmm.
first thing is there that if you have taken any loan for the property, what you've taken, you
Hmm.
have taken
Loan.
for the property, and because of this loan, you are paying some interests. Then
Hmm.
whatever interest you are paying because of this loan that you have taken for the property, it is allowed as a deduction. It is allowed as a deduction on accrual basis. Now, what do I mean by accrual basis?
Hmm.
So it is allowed as a deduction on accrual basis. It is not allowed on paid basis. So, like basically, we are covering the assessment year, and our assessment year is 25-26.
Hmm.
Our previous year is 2024-2025.
Hmm.
Yes, so we are talking about previous year 24-25. So, any interest that was due in the period 24-25 will be allowed as a deduction in the year 25-26. It's
Yes.
not necessary whether you've paid or not. If it is due, deduction is allowed.
Hmm.
So, if you've taken any loan for the property, I'm repeating, if you've taken any loan for the property and interest is due on that loan, then the
Hmm.
deduction is allowed on accrual basis, not on paid basis. Now you should
Okay.
realize over there that this deduction is on the money that you have borrowed.
Hmm.
And after borrowing this money, the first you can do these things. If after borrowing the money you are doing these things, only then the deduction is allowed. Otherwise, the deduction is not allowed. So after
Hmm.
borrowing the money, either you are purchasing the property. Okay, you are purchasing that property, or with that borrowed money, you are doing the construction of property. Okay,
Hmm.
or you are doing repairs of that property, or you're doing renewal of that property or reconstruction. Only after taking the loan, the money that you are getting, you are either buying, you're constructing, repairs, renewal, and reconstruction, and everything you are doing for the property that we are computing the income for. So from the NAV, you are allowed to minus this interest on which basis?
Paid basis.
Accrual basis. On which basis?
Accrual
Accrual
basis.
basis. Not on which basis? Not on paid basis.
Paid basis.
So the basic condition over here is, our condition is that when you're taking this loan, you are going to use this money only for what? Loan,
Only for loan money interest.
it should be used for what?
Loan money.
Should be used for the property. Loan should be used for the property purchase, construction, repairs, renewal, reconstruction. If you take money for property, but you use that money for doing something else, not allowed.
Okay.
Okay. Then
Mhm.
the second thing. Now, this was for what? What was the first thing that we covered? Loan for
Property.
loan for what?
Property.
But what are you going to use it for?
Interest.
My purchase, construction, repairs, renew.
Acha, huh. Yeah, that is.
What you going to use it for?
Purchase, construction, repairs, renewal, reconstruction.
Okay, fine. So loan for purchase, construction, repairs, renewal, reconstruction. Okay. Now
Hmm.
another thing which is called the pre-construction period.
Hmm.
What do you mean by pre-construction period?
Before constructing the house or
Okay. So is it possible that you have taken money as loan?
hmm.
You have taken the money as loan to construct this property.
Hmm.
Okay. So this house property is going to come into existence, say, in the assessment year 25, 26, or maybe it is going to come into existence in 26, 27, or 27, 20.
Hmm.
Is it possible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, fine. And you have taken this loan to make a house which is still not into existence.
Yeah.
Okay. And you are paying interest on this loan.
Hmm.
So in this case, deduction will
Yeah.
be there for the interest. You are going to pay interest.
Hmm.
Okay. So in this case, you can take deduction for the interest only after the property comes into the picture.
Yes.
Because only if you have GAV, you can have only when your property is there, right?
Yes.
From that, you will minus municipal taxes, you get
Hmm.
NAV. From that,
And
it's your standard deduction, you minus your interest. But to do this computation, this property should be existing.
yes.
But what if the property is not existing and it just came into existence in my assessment year? So that interest that you are going to pay, say you took the interest in 2021. So for five
Hmm.
years you've taken to make this property and you are paying interest for 5 years, or you're paying interest for 6 years or 7 years or whatever number of years.
Hmm.
Then this is called the pre-construction period interest. What is it called?
Hmm. Reconstruction period interest.
Now, from where will you take deduction for this interest? So the
From where?
Income Tax Act is telling that if you
Hmm.
have taken some money as loan, if you have taken some money as loan to construct your house, okay? To
Hmm.
construct your house, and I say your house is constructed in the assessment year 25, 26. I am talking related to this assessment year because we are going to give our exam in this assessment year. Okay. So,
Hmm.
from the date of borrowing, okay, from the date of
Yeah.
borrowing till the previous year, just before completion. Can you tell me what is
Hmm.
previous year just before completion?
Just before completion of the construction.
So, your construction has got completed when?
The assessment year.
Which assessment year? This month. Okay.
This.
So,
Yeah.
or you could say your construction got completed in the previous year 24, 25.
Hmm.
So, just before the completion, whatever previous year falls from the date of borrowing till the previous year, just before the completion, you will calculate the interest. And this interest
Okay.
called what interest? It is called pre-construction interest. What is it called?
Reconstruction interest.
And whatever interest from the date of borrowing till the previous year, just before the completion, whatever interest is there, you will divide it in 5 equal installments. How many equal
Okay.
installments? You will divide in
Five.
equal installments. Okay, and entire interest is allowed to be deducted.
Mm.
Okay, so that means you have two interest that is allowed to be deducted. Pre-construction period, entire thing, but you can divide it into 5 equal installment, and every year 1/5 will be allowed.
Okay.
Whatever is the interest amount, we don't care. Entire interest is allowed to be deducted under section 24B.
Hmm.
And the second interest, if you've taken loan for property for acquisition, construction, repairs, renewal, reconstruction.
Hmm.
So deduction is allowed on what basis?
Accrual basis.
Accrual basis. And for this interest on loan for property, I'm talking about,
Hmm.
for this interest, we have two types of interest. One is which interest? Pre-construction.
Pre-construction.
So pre-construction interest, what is the rule? Entire amount is allowed to be deducted in 5 equal installments.
Hmm.
Hmm?
Hmm.
Entire amount is allowed as deduction in 5 equal installments. And this, the second one is what? Loan for property, which is used for acquisition, constructions, repairs, renewal, reconstruction. Here, for SOP, only 2 lakh is allowed. As the
Hmm.
Okay, only 2 lakh is a lakh is allowed as deduction on which basis?
Accrual.
Accrual basis. And for others, it is allowed to be deducted. Okay, now keeping this in mind, keeping your pre-construction interest in mind, okay. Now what about post-construction interest? Post-construction comes where?
After the construction is done.
This will be here, okay. This construction is which construction? Post-construction.
Hmm.
Okay, now keeping this in mind, please do the illustrations. The certain things that I want to tell you, these are additional loans, additional notes. If you take a new
Hmm.
loan, repay your old loan
Hmm.
for acquisition or construction. So interest on
Hmm.
new loan is also allowed to be deducted.
Okay.
Okay. So if you take a new loan to repay your old loan, so interest on new loan is also allowed to be deducted. If
Hmm.
if you're not paying your loan on time and you're getting penalty, so penalty is not allowed, but only if it is a genuine case that you have to pay penalty, then case by case basis they will see. Okay.
Okay.
Supposed to take the loan, you are paying brokerage or processing fees. So this is not
Hmm.
allowed. Okay.
Hmm.
The interest that is allowed to be deducted would only be the simple interest. You cannot compound it.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
If you want to claim this deduction, then you should produce a certificate taken from the bank for the amount of interest that you are paying.
Hmm.
Okay, done?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now, for self occupied property, we are talking about the limits. Okay, what are we talking about? limits for the self-occupied property. Yeah, I want you to please write along with me the limits. I just forgot to tell you. Limits for
Hmm.
your self-occupied property.
Hmm.
Okay, first I will take about self-occupied property. For self-occupied property, the gross annual value is always how much? Nil.
20. Sorry, nil.
Nil.
Hmm.
Deductions that is allowed to be deducted for the interest, it is
Hmm.
30,000 if you're taking the loan for repairs, renewal, and reconstruction. Okay. So the allowable
Hmm.
deductions for self-occupied property is 30,000 if you're taking loan for repair, renewal, reconstruction. 200,000 if you're taking the loan for acquiring the property or construction.
Hmm.
Okay. If you are taking the loan, if you're taking the loan after 1st April 1999, if whatever loan you are taking after 1st April 1999 to acquire the property or to construct the property, okay, then this acquisition or construction should be completed within 5 years from the date of loan taken. So the
Hmm.
acquisition or construction should be completed within 5 years from date of loan taken. So that means the financial year in which you take the loan. From there, you count 5 financial years and you should acquire or finish the construction within 5 years. Only then the deduction is allowed.
Hmm.
Now, your second part is let out property. For interest, there is no upper limit. Okay, full interest is allowed to be deducted. Now, if you are going for the new tax regime, in the new tax regime, you are allowed to take deduction for interest. That means you can take the deduction for interest, but this deduction will be allowed only if LOP. That means, as per the new regime, interest on house loan is not allowed for SOP. As per the new regime, interest on house loan is only for LOP under section 115 BAC. So can you please read the question please for me, Afia?
Yeah, Mr. X took a loan of rupees 1 lakh at 15% interest per annum
So the loan
from
was how
HDFC.
much? The loan was for 1
1 lakh.
and the rate of
Hmm.
interest 15%, and the loan is taken on 1/4/2021. Okay.
Yes. For the purpose of construction of his house. The
Okay.
house was completed on 20th March 2024.
Okay.
Calculate the deductible amount of interest from the annual value for the previous year, 24-25. The house is let out.
Okay, the construction was completed on 23/24, and you have to
Hmm.
calculate the deductible amount. Okay, very
Hmm.
good. So let's state the facts of the case. What is my loan amount?
1 lakh.
My loan is rupees 1 lakh.
Hmm.
How much is the interest?
15%.
Okay, the interest is 15%. Okay, date of taking the
Hmm.
loan 1/4
1 for 2021.
And date of completion?
23/2024.
You're doing along with me, right?
Yes.
And this is a let out property. I
Yes.
want to know how much interest would be allowed. Okay. So we are in previous year. We are in which previous year?
24/25.
We are in the previous year 24, 25. We are in the assessment year 25, 26. So whatever calculations we do for 24, 25 would be paid or allowed as deduction for 25, 26.
Hmm.
Are you with me? The house
Yes.
construction was completed in 24, 25.
Hmm.
So this is a pre-construction interest.
Miss House completed in 24/25. Year starts on 1st April, no?
So 1st April 24 to 31st March 2025. So the year in which the construction was completed, immediately preceding the previous year, the construction was
23/24.
preceding the previous year. So the construction was completed in the previous year, 2023, 2024.
Hmm.
Are you with me?
Yes.
So first thing is, if I am talking about the interest in the previous year, if I am talking about the interest of the previous year, 2024, 2025, this is going to be 100,000 into 15%, which is going to be 15,000.
Hmm.
Okay, are you with me?
Yes.
This is the previous year in which the construction was completed and I have the house.
Hmm.
Okay, so this 15,000 is fully allowed as deduction. Now,
Hmm.
our main target is our pre-construction interest. Our pre-construction interest, so please note, this loan is taken after 1999. So within 5
Hmm.
years, you should complete the construction.
Yes.
So the rule for pre-construction interest is interest from date of loan till the end of the financial year before the year of completion. Interest till date of loan till end of financial year
Interest from date of loan.
from the date of loan, yeah, sorry. From the date of loan till the end of financial year before the year of completion. So year of completion is which year?
23/24.
23, 24. So pre-construction period ends when?
22/23.
22, 23. The pre-construction periods ends in the 22, 23. So from the date of loan till the end of the financial year, before the year of completion. So my year of completion is over here, but I will be allowed deduction for pre-completion interest before this,
Hmm.
up unto this year. Are you with me?
Hmm.
Please relate it. Date of loan is what?
1/4/2021.
So date of loan is 1/4/21. I have completed when?
23/24.
Which previous year this falls into?
2023/2024.
So pre-construction period ends when?
22, 23.
End of pre-construction period 2022, 2023. So here it was completed and I would be allowed deduction just before the year in which it was completed. So
Huh.
this would be allowed from which date to which date? From 1/4/2021 to 31st March 2023.
Hmm.
So interest would be allowed for 21/22. Interest would be allowed for 21/22 and 22/20.
Yeah. Hmm.
For how many years?
2 years.
2 years. So on 100,000 into 15% into 2 years. So my interest amount is 30,000. Yes.
Hmm.
Can you tell me the line for pre-construction interest? How much is allowed?
Sorry.
Rate of the loan till the end of the financial year, but
Hmm.
before the year of completion. Since my year of
Yeah.
completion was 23/24, so I would be allowed when?
22, 23.
22/23, just before the year of completion. End of the financial year before the year of completion. Okay, be
Hmm.
mindful of this. So the pre-construction period interest is for 21 till 22 23.
Mhm.
So for 2 years it is 30,000.
Hmm.
So my pre-construction interest is how much?
30,000.
Spread for how many years?
5.
5 years. Starting from
Hmm.
which previous year?
2021.
No, my house was completed when?
24.
24. So that means it is going to start from which year? The house is completed in 24, 23, 24.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So that means from the next year, this would be allowed from 24, 25 up until 5 years.
What will be allowed? Deduction.
Deduction 30,000 is the pre construction period interest into 1/5. So 6,000 will be allowed as deduction. So if I am
Mhm.
talking about the previous year, which previous year I'm talking about? If I am talking about my assessment year, 25, 26, previous year, 24, 25, I will be allowed the current year interest of 15,000 and the pre-construction interests of 6,000. This is what I will be allowed. Please go through it. I'm sending it to you. Do your workings. Try to put your key points. And then I would discuss further with you. I'm talking about a VLOP. Which property I'm talking about? VLOP. That means it is a let out property, but it was vacant during some period. Are
Hmm.
you with me? So when I'm
Yeah.
calculating my gross annual value, can you give me how do I calculate my gross annual value?
Reasonable lettable value or actual rent, whichever
From
is.
step one. From step one, can you tell me how do I calculate gross annual value?
Yeah. Fair rent
Hmm.
or municipal value, whichever is higher.
Hmm.
Whichever is higher in the first step, or the standard rent, whichever is lower,
Hmm. Then this is your
or
reasonable rating value.
reasonable lettable value, or
Reasonable
the
rating value is
actual rent.
compared to actual rent. It is compared to
Hmm.
Actual rent.
Actual rent, whichever is higher.
Whichever is higher, you're going to take. So if your reasonable letting value is for 12 months, your actual rent is also for 12 months.
Hmm.
Okay, fine. But what is happening is there is a vacancy, so the let out property becomes a VLOP.
Hmm.
It becomes a vacant and let out property, partly vacant and partly let out. In this
Hmm.
case, I have loss due to vacancy.
Hmm.
So if your actual rent that you have received is less than the reasonable letting value because of loss of vacancy, in this case, you will take your actual rent as your GAV.
Hmm.
But if your actual rent is less than the reasonable letting value for reasons which is other than vacancy,
Hmm.
okay, that means actual rent is less and the reasonable letting value is more, but there is no vacancy over here, then in that case you're going to take your reasonable letting value is taken as GAV.
Okay.
Children can also be lower because you're undercharging.
Hmm.
Okay, or reasonable letting value is more than the actual rent plus loss. So in these cases, you are going to take RLV, otherwise, you are going to take AR.
Hmm.
Okay, when your actual rent is compared to the reasonable letting value, which part you take, whichever is higher.
Higher.
So that rules applies. But if the actual rent is lower due to loss, then you take the actual rent. Just keep this in mind. Okay. Basically, we are talking about unrealized rent or arrears of rent. When I talk about unrealized rent, means the rent was due from the tenant, but I could
Hmm.
not collect it. I am the assessee. Okay. That means I
Okay.
had a let out property. I had a tenant. I was charging rent from that, and I was putting income from let out property. And this tenant of mine has not paid me rent. Okay. So
Hmm.
the rent which I have not received, I have not earned the income. So is it possible for me to pay tax on it?
Mm, no.
If I have not earned the income, how will I pay tax on it?
Yeah.
Okay, so they say that if you have something which is unrealized, so you are allowed to take it as a deduction from your actual rent. You can minus it
Okay.
from the actual rent and reduce your actual rent from this unrealized rent. But if you
Hmm.
want to reduce it from your actual rent, then you should have these conditions should be followed as per rule 4. The condition is as per which rule? Rule 4.
Oh.
That means
Hmm.
there should be a tenancy agreement.
Hmm.
Your tenant, because he's not paid you rent, you either removed him out from the house or you are
Hmm.
taking the steps to remove him out from the house and
Hmm.
done everything that was within your reach to recover the money from him. Agreement should be there. No, he should not
Hmm.
be staying in your house because he's not paying you rent. So either he is not staying in your house or you have taken the steps to throw him out of the house. You've taken the
Okay.
steps to compel him to vacate your house. And you have done everything
Okay.
in your reach to recover the unpaid rent. If you have done all of this, then this unrealized rent is allowed as a deduction from the actual rent received.
Okay.
So while you're calculating your GAV from your actual rent, you can take minus the unrealized rent. Now, what happens
Okay.
if you receive this unrealized rent in the later years?
You treat it as an income.
Hmm?
You treat it as an income.
So you treat it as an income from house property, okay? And you're also
Hmm.
a 30% deduction on that amount that is realized.
What?
Suppose in the later years you are receiving this unrealized rent.
Yes.
This house is no longer there with you.
Yeah.
Okay, this house is no longer there with you, then this unrealized rent will be charged to tax under section 25AA. And
Okay.
from this money, you will be allowed a deduction of 30%, standard deduction, even if the house is no longer there with you.
Okay.
Hmm?
Hmm.
Okay, fine. Then there is one provision that is called arrears of rent. What is the meaning of arrears of rent?
Delay in rent.
Okay, fine. So you have a house, you are earning income from that house, and some of your tenants did not pay you rent. If they did not pay you rent, that means the rent was either you have not received the rent or it wasn't due. So they did not pay you rent, and this rent was never charged to tax earlier.
Hmm.
So if this was never charged to tax earlier, that means it is arrears of rent. You were supposed
Yeah.
to receive this money, but he did not pay you. You did not pay the tax on this income.
Hmm.
Okay. So the arrears of rent, if there is any mention in the question, so in whichever year you received this rent, which was to be received earlier, but you did not receive it,
Hmm.
you're receiving in the
Hmm.
later years. So if you receive
Hmm.
this money in the later years, when will you pay tax?
When you receive it.
So you are going to pay tax taxable in the year of receipts.
Hmm.
Under which section? 25B. Okay. So
Hmm.
for this also you are going to get a deduction of 30%. Deduction of 30%, that is a standard deduction.
Hmm.
So you have two sections. One is for what?
Unrealized rent.
25AA is for unrealized rent. What does this say?
24A, no?
25A. Sorry, 24A. I'm sorry. It's rule 4.
Hmm.
Rule 4 is for unrealized rent. 25AA is for recovery of unrealized rent. 25AA is for recovery of unrealized rent. And 25B is for arrears of rent. Okay. So what is
Hmm.
unrealized rent as per rule 4?
What?
What is unrealized rent as per rule 4?
The rent that is not received.
So what will you do?
So it is due from, so you will, the tenancy bona fide.
It is allowed
Tenant has,
deduction. It is allowed as deduction
yeah,
from
it is allowed as deduction
actual receipt.
from actual received.
But four conditions should be met as per rule 4.
Yes, the tenant has vacated the property,
Hmm.
or the steps have been taken to compel him to vacate. The assessee has taken all the steps to recover the unpaid rent.
And tenancy is there. Bona fide. You can
Yeah.
do. And still there
Mhm.
is unrealized rent. Then what will you do?
Then 30% of
Then it
deduction.
is allowed as deduction from the actual rent received. Whatever is the unrealized rent, it is allowed as deduction from the actual rent received. But in the later,
30%, no?
no. In the later years, you recover this unrealized rent.
Hmm.
So then which section is applicable?
Section 25 AA.
And when will it be taxable?
When will it be
The
taxable?
year of recovery.
In the year of recovery, yeah.
And from this amount that you have recovered, you will get a deduction of how much?
30%.
30%. Which deduction? Standard deduction.
And the deduction.
Irrespective of the fact that you have the property or not.
Hmm.
Okay. Then there is arrears of rent. What is arrears of rent?
Rent is not paid.
By whom?
Hmm. By the tenant.
Okay. And then he is going to pay you in the later
In
year.
the future, later years. Yeah.
Okay. So I did not pay tax on that rent because I did not receive it then. So when I receive it in in that year, it will be taxable. So it is taxable in the year of receipts under section. It is taxable in the year of receipts under section
25B.
under section 25B. If you are going to you're going to pay tax in the year of receipts under section 25B, you are going to be given what?
30% of standard deduction.
30% of standard deduction would also be given for recovery of unrealized rent and would also be given for arrears of
The
rent.
arrears.
Are you with me?
Yes.
See, first you have unrealized rent. Whatever is the amount of unrealized rent, you can minus it from actual received. If four conditions are fulfilled, phone. Tomorrow morning in the future, in whichever year you receive this unrealized rent, so it will be taxable under section
25AA.
irrespective of the fact whether you have or do not have the property.
Property.
Deduction will be how much?
Deduction will be 30.
Similarly, here,
Taxable in the year of receipts under section 25B. 30% of standard deduction.
yes. Okay. That is it for arrears of rent and unrealized rent.